actually had a really hard time with the Lord. Like, ugh.
Yep. You're human. He's a good father, and he can handle what we feel and what we express to him. Oh, my baby.
Yeah.
Welcome back to... Or wait, you say hi, you guys?
Well, hello, you guys.
That's what it is.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we have a little 2-month life update on how we're, specifically Tori, are doing postpartum.
Yeah.
We put one of those Q&A boxes on her Instagram to kind of figure out what kind of videos you guys are going to want this year.
Yeah.
And a big common denominator that people are asking is, how are you really doing?
Yeah.
What's happening postpartum, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything like that. And so we just wanted to record like an update. And I personally, and you can speak into this too.
Yeah.
I personally hope that this like prepares you all, even if you're not in that stage.
Yeah.
Because it's very similar to whenever we talk about our season in engagement, or actually our season in singleness, which has its own hardships.
Yeah.
Singles of our season of engagement, season of early marriage, and then season of pregnancy.
Yeah.
We love giving advice on these topics, but we have even come to realize that sharing advice is easy. Receiving it and applying it can be very difficult.
Yeah, living inside of the situation.
Yeah, and so this is, just transparently speaking, this has definitely been a harder season on us. Yeah. So we hope that this kind of course, doesn't scare you off or anything like that. But it's just like, hey, like, here we are, and this is reality. But there's so much hope that can be derived from working through something like this.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hardship.
Yes. Oh, it's a good way to put it. I like that.
Explain it, because it'll make me literally cry thinking about
Babe, what are we
30 seconds into the video.
Like a minute.
How are you doing postpartum?
How are you really doing? She just like breaks the camera.
No, but it's it's a beautiful, hard season, because we've never experienced this much joy, this much laughter, this kind of love that's so different, but at the same time, this type of hardship. Like, we thought we were prepared.
We thought, that was where we got wrong.
That, like, highlighted word, thought.
Yeah.
Just as we've kind of shared before, like, we have a ton of friends in the season, young kids, etc., and nothing quite prepares you until you just like experience it on your own. And so we kind of want to just like break it down, because we're on a time crunch because Mike is napping, how we're doing emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically.
All right, let's start with mentally. How are you doing mentally? Which is like wrestling with stuff internally.
Mentally, I feel like I'm just starting to kind of feel like myself again. Like, on the days where I can actually get up and shower and put clothes on, and there's something about like putting shoes on that I like feel more active, or just like going outside, because I think what the hardest part about really early postpartum and that type of feeling was I really couldn't do much. And so I feel like now postpartum, my mentally I'm doing better. Like, I feel more clear because I can get up and get myself dressed, and I can go take Micah for a walk and get outside, and it like creates some like mental clarity and space.
It is weird to think about the freedoms that we all have to, put on shoes, maybe go outside, or take a shower. How much better that makes you feel versus the opposite.
Be able to go to the bathroom normally.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many days postpartum, like that first month, that I was like, I cannot wait till I can just like go pee. Like, I can just like go pee normally, because I'm telling y'all, sorry for the boys out there.
Boys, let's just do what I do.
Ladies, if you're gonna give birth that way, going to the bathroom is not easy for a hot second.
We're gonna get to physically.
We'll get to physically. Anyways, I'm just saying, I really took for granted just being able to go to the bathroom and like take a shower and do my hair in the same like space. But I do feel like now we're finally starting to get somewhat of a rhythm. So I feel like I'm doing a lot better mentally.
How hard was that mentally when you couldn't do those things normally? Were you just like coping, or?
I think it's really hard for me to ask for help. Like, I don't like asking for help. It makes me feel needy.
Which is hard for me because if you follow that stuff, I'm a 2, which is a helper, I guess, right? Haven't taken the test. That's just what people assume, and so it's hard for me because that's the way I love her, is by helping.
Yeah, but he was already helping so much. Like, he was doing so much that for me, it was really hard to ask for more. Like, I didn't want to ask him to do something else because I was very aware of everything he already was doing. But me not being able to, like, I'm like stuck breastfeeding, but like I need water, and I need my Huckin, I need this and I need that, and it's like a whole process all the time. And so I felt like that was really tough. But now that I do think that kind of all of them tie together, now that I'm doing better physically, it's helping me mentally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, absolutely.
What about you?
Me mentally, it's been obviously a very different experience, and I do want to preface by saying what Tori's been through is infinitely more than what I have been through, but
it doesn't take away from the fact that his whole life changed.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't take away that I'm experiencing changes, and that can come out in beautiful or very ugly ways, which you'll probably hear about in this video. But I think mentally, I've been trying, I think probably the hardest thing, and I don't know if I've shared this yet, is Tori had, 40 weeks spending time with him, and even though he doesn't talk to her, you know what I mean, you just started to build those intimate connections. Whereas me, it's like, my body, I'm just Chad.
Same.
And I'm trying to, I think the way I've explained it to a few friends, and my buddy Gabe helped me put this in perspective for myself, is that it's like, typically when you love somebody, you got to know them first. Mm-hmm. But with Micah, I love him before I know him. Yeah. And that's different. It feels very different, where it almost just feels like I'm trying to love you, which is love is patient, love is kind. Goes down a list of all the descriptions of love. I'm trying to be this way, but it really revealed how I would really only love whenever it's convenient for me. Because I already know the person. I already have my friend group. I have my career. I can choose to love a lot more conveniently versus loving when it's hard.
Sacrifice.
And so the mental struggle there was pretty hard for me, in wrestling with like my own selfishness. I didn't realize how selfish I truly am and was until this season. But then there's the other side, the beautiful side of the mentality of it, where I've been stretched more. And I've had some pat yourself on the back moments where I'm just like, wow, like you really do care about your family. Yeah. You really do love them. All the way from just wanting to find the best ways to provide and protect them, to like making sure everyone's taken care of, to sacrificing more to make sure they're good to go. Yeah. And before we jump into the spiritual side of things, I did want to give a big shout out to one of the best sponsors of our channel, Upside. You guys have heard us talk about it before, but Upside is a free cashback app that provides cashback for like your everyday purchases, whether it's gas stations, grocery stores, restaurants. You can download the app on the Google Play Store or the App Store, and you can literally scroll through your area and find different restaurants or gas station and grocery stores that are providing cash back on your everyday purchases. And this is not to instill fear in your heart, but like we're definitely going into an economic downturn. And now more than ever, we need things that help us keep the money that we're making. Yeah. And so that's even been one of the biggest ways that I've started to feel more comfortable with our family is doing a bunch of little things like using the Upside app to offset the costs of inflation right now is really important. And so you guys will not regret trying this app out. It's so convenient. You just download the app, you put in your area, and then you search for whatever deal you're looking for. And whenever you show up there, you click claim, you use the card that you set it up with, and then it'll automatically find that purchase and just give you cash back in a few days. And you can deposit it into your account, whether through PayPal, through gift cards, through whatever. We've loved working with them, and so we definitely encourage you guys to check out the link in the description. You download the free Upside app and use code MastersFam to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. You won't regret it. Definitely go check it out. Now, how are things going spiritually?
I feel like this has been such an odd season for me spiritually, if I'm just being completely transparent. I think that I took for granted the amount of time and space I had before Micah got here to just like have my alone time with Jesus and like sit in a quiet space or outside and have my journal and have my Bible and my coffee and like my whole space with my worship music and everything else. Like I had my routine, and I definitely feel like I have been pushed spiritually. I feel like y'all will understand this a little bit better after we share our birth story next week. But I actually had a really hard time with the Lord. Like,
Yep. You're human. He's a good father, and he can handle what we feel and what we express to him. Oh, my baby.
Yeah. Anyways, I had a hard time with God after labor and delivery because I was kind of mad at him that it was not the experience that we expected at all. Or prayed for.
I'm sweating.
I know, I just got...
You're sweating out of your eyes. I'm sweating.
I just got really hot. So I'm trying not to share too much of that because it's a really long story, and we'll share it in its fullness next week. But I really struggled for the first couple weeks connecting with God. And I think because I struggled connecting with God was another reason why I really struggled with worry when it came from Micah, because I wasn't first filled by my Prince of Peace. So I didn't have the peace of the Lord guiding my decisions, and so when things would happen, I'm quicker to go to Google and my friends than I am to God. And it just left me in a state of worry. And so now, progress-wise, I feel like I've been able to look back and see where God was. But it took me a really long time. It took me almost 2 months to kind of to see that. And I saw this post, one of my favorite accounts on Instagram, highly recommend following her. She's an incredible writer, clearly stated is the account. But I just wanted to read this real quick because I know I shared that my struggle was worry in last month's video, and she wrote about worry today. Like I saw this literally 5 minutes before we pressed record, and I was like, oh, I want to read that to you guys because it really impacted me. She says, when the enemy tries to disguise worry as responsibility, remind him that you serve the God of peace. So for me, it was almost like, well, I'm so worried because I'm his mom. Like, I'm responsible for him. Like, I should be worried because these things are going wrong. But worry has never and will never come from your Heavenly Father. Worry is not worthy or helpful form of accountability. It convinces you that your restlessness about the unknown is a necessary response to show that you care.
That'll preach.
Yeah. Right. It steals your focus, wrecks your peace, complicates your discernment, strips you of your energy, and distorts your perspective. But Jesus is the Prince of Peace, the personification of it. Therefore, where he is present, peace is also present. Where worry resides, so does the forgetfulness of his presence.
Did you send this to me? Or because I feel incredibly convicted right now.
I just sent it to you.
Oh, I gotta check my messages.
You never check your Instagram DMs. I'm gonna restate that last one. Where worry resides, so does the forgetfulness of his presence.
Good Lord.
Yeah. When you remember that he is God and that he is for your life, peace will follow. That is the beautiful thing about heavenly peace. Your circumstances don't have to change for everything to shift. It becomes less about the particulars and more about his presence, his power, his promises. Peace is found through having an eternal lens, knowing that all things are created, connected, controlled, and cared for by God. Worry makes you forget the character of God. So if you feel worried, lean into his character. When life feels heavy or just really hard, remember the heart of your Heavenly Father. Realign your body, heart, soul, and mind. Recite his word. Recount his past faithfulness. Remember his power. Renew your heart in truth. Recalibrate your perspective. Replant your feet. Refresh your soul in his presence. And restore your peace.
Wow.
Yeah, it keeps going. But I'm just saying, y'all, that wrecked me. So.
Spiritually. Yes. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I have a lot to think about now. I think I echo what Tori was saying regarding, like, I was definitely wrestling with God a bit in the beginning, because I remember all my bargaining and negotiating and complaining and yelling I did from delivery up on for a few weeks. But I think now that it's kind of like that quote where if you're too close to the trees, you miss the forest. And I almost think I wanted to be upset because I didn't get my way. And so I think the more that, honestly, we've been doing our devotionals for the new year on the Mortars of Masters YouTube page, a lot of that stuff has really helped me process with a heart of gratefulness. Yeah. And grateful doesn't mean that you're getting your way.
Yeah.
You know, it just means that you're getting your heart in a posture to be thankful in all things.
Yeah.
And so in all things.
Yeah.
So, but I got to chew on that a little bit. That was really good.
That's okay.
It was very clearly stated. How are you doing physically?
Well, I think because my labor and delivery was pretty intense, my physical healing has been just a little slower than I would have hoped. But with all of that said, I'm very grateful for the amount I have healed. At least I'm able to walk around. I had my postpartum visit recently, and she cleared me to start working out and doing certain things, and you know.
What certain things? Huh?
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people have asked how intimacy is after baby. And I think that could probably be an entirely separate video, because that's something we're still figuring out and walking through.
Yeah. I mean, definitely for the guys watching, it's important to be prepared, because there's definitely a season where you can't be intimate.
Yeah.
And you need to make sure that you're strong enough to resist different urges and stuff like that. And so this is a real thing. So I don't want to get into big details.
Yeah.
But aside from just being exhausted all the time, a silver lining of that is that we have found that we can complete the same amount of work in less time. Yeah. Which is I wish we knew that before. So I guess encouragement to those of you who aren't currently with a newborn, you can do more than you think you can.
100%.
That's an encouragement. That's not just
And everyone told us that too.
I didn't believe them. I was just no, I'm at capacity. I'm full. No, you have another gear or two.
Yeah.
So,
that you can hit.
But yeah, just I think some of that, being prepared to just take care of your wife. Mm-hmm. In there's been funny moments where I'm placing a haka on this boob, I'm helping him settle into the other one, and then I'm feeding her. And that not everything's like that. She's doing insurmountably more than I am. But there's been some funny...
For sure, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, there's been some funny moments.
Yeah.
But just having a servant's heart. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Yeah. He gave his body for the church. And so that's our job, and it's hard, but it's worth it. But we are going to try to get back into, I think we mentioned this in another video, try to get back to working out and trying to feel good and stuff. So
yeah, we're definitely everything changes. And I told you guys, I'm so grateful for the body that I have and what it went through, and that it carried life, and Mike is here now and everything else. And so none of it comes from being uncomfortable with my body. I look at the stretch marks that I now have, and I'm Micah, sweet Micah, you know? But at the same time, it's I want to be able to be active with him and run around when he
Play.
runs around and
Yeah.
play and feel good. And I'm like one of those weird people who like smiles through a workout. Like I genuinely
It's creepy.
love working out. Like it makes me feel good. I enjoy doing it. When we were at the park the other day, y'all probably saw in a recent vlog, it was my first time like doing some ab. Like I didn't realize I was doing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Like I love it.
She was really happy about working out abs, and I'm just like, you're out of your mind.
No, I genuinely enjoy it. So that's even something that y'all want to, like if y'all have questions about, or if I should kind of document like postpartum progress, fitness journey, etc. I know I really enjoy watching those, but I know it's a little different for our channel. So y'all just comment below kind of what y'all want.
I do think Tori and I are going to skip emotionally because we started talking about it and then we quickly realized that this is too close to the birth story.
Yeah.
So we're going to answer those things in the birth story next week.
Yeah.
And I did want to encourage you guys to go download the Upside app. It's a free cashback app and it's so easy to use. It'll help you earn money to offset those higher prices we're currently paying.
Yeah.
There's a link in the description. Go check it out. And other than that, that's all I got.
I think that's all we have for you guys today. And I think Mike is probably going to wake up soon. So we love you guys.
Love you guys.
We'll see you in the next video.
Do 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 do. I can't wait.